Hi everybody, I'm Jamie Lynn with my co-host Baby Chase, and today we are talking about Braxton Hicks contractions versus real ones, aka am I in labor? I am a certified, in my own world, professional when it comes to Braxton Hicks contractions because now on my 4th pregnancy I have them all the time, so I can tell you a lot about them. But before we get into it, I just want you all to know that I would love to have you subscribe to my channel and like this video if it helps you. My name is Jamie Lynn. We talk about maternity and we talk about pregnancy, motherhood, do baby unboxings, not real babies, like baby products. We talk about all the cool things. We talk about Baby Chase. Boop. Boop. And we go on little family adventures, so please subscribe to my channel if that interests you. Also, if you would like to know how to turn Braxton Hicks contractions into real contractions, please let me know in the comments below so I can make a video about that as well. We would love to keep informing everybody and make sure everyone has a happy, healthy, and safe pregnancy. Right, Chaser? Here's my bump today. I am in my 8th month of pregnancy, my 4th pregnancy, and this is little girl baby Kalina. I'll be due with her technically on New Year's Eve, so we'll see when she actually decides to come. I'm really anxious about it, but I wanted to talk to everybody about Braxton Hicks contractions because sometimes it's so easy to confuse, especially when you get to the end of your pregnancy and wonder, am I in labor or is this just Braxton Hicks? So what is the difference? So technically speaking, Braxton Hicks contractions are not real contractions and they will not dilate you. It is your uterus kind of toning itself and getting ready for labor, but it will not dilate your cervix at all. So how do you know which is which? They say that Braxton Hicks contractions will not come at regular intervals, though honestly from my experience they can. Maybe not completely regular, but honestly quite frequently and close together, minutes apart and lasting almost a minute in length sometimes. So I definitely would say that I have personally debunked this. So if you see that on the internet floating around, I think it is entirely possible to have Braxton Hicks contractions near regular intervals. The biggest giveaway of is it Braxton Hicks or is it real labor is a Braxton Hicks contraction will not cause pain. Okay? You will not be in pain. You'll be able to walk. Sometimes for me, it's almost a pleasant sensation when I get them. Also, I want to point out, I know Chase is tired and I'm holding him, but Braxton Hicks, you will pretty much feel from like down here and maybe only to about right here, you'll feel like a tightening just in this area here, here to here. If it's a real contraction, it will actually radiate all the way up to like wherever the top of your fundal height is. So that's also another difference. So if you're feeling your entire abdomen tighten, that it will be painful. That is a real labor contraction. Real labor contractions, yes, they can feel like period cramps as well. For me, the best way to describe a real labor contraction, if you want to feel one, you can get down on the floor right now. You can do 1,000 sit-ups, okay? Make sure you're really burnt out and fatigued. Like there's no possible way anyone can do 1,000 sit-ups. Okay, now that you've done 1,000 sit-ups, I want you to wait 3 minutes and do 100 more. And every 3 minutes, I want you to do 100. it feels kind of like muscle fatigue. Like your muscles physically can't go on. Like if you would sprint as fast as you could and your quads were burning, and then you just kept running as fast as you could. It's like total burnout. It feels like your muscles are exhausted, like they are tearing your body apart, and what they're physically actually really doing is ripping your cervix open. Okay, so that's why you feel that way. That's what's happening. That is a real contraction. That is what they feel like. So yes, it'll be painful, it'll be cramping, but for the most part, like that's really what I would equate it to, is just doing like as many sit-ups as you could, and then just keep doing them even though your body and your brain and your muscles all say no. During labor, it's not going to stop. So that brings me into the other thing of, is it real labor? If it's Braxton Hicks and you drink some water, you lay down and go to sleep, which most of the time when I'm getting these, I'm like at work, so I can't do any of those things. But if you would lay down and go to sleep, they would go away. If you were in real labor, it won't just stop. Now, if it's medically induced labor, like Pitocin or Cervidil or something like that, then yes, it's not completely natural, and yes, maybe things will come and go. But if you're at home and you're not medicated at all, and you go to sleep and you wake up and you're still feeling it, that's probably real labor, and you should definitely be timing them. The biggest thing though that I'm going to point out is the pain factor. This is another thing that's really hard for me, because I never start feeling those contractions until I'm actually around 8 centimeters dilated. Between 8 and 10 centimeters is called transition stage, and those are the most painful and intense contractions. Those are the end of the line for you right before you begin pushing, because 10 is the go sign for starting to push. So that is kind of hard for me to tell in the beginning stages of labor. I'm sure I'm not the only woman in the history of the world that goes through this. But you know, some women do know and realize when they're like a 2 or a 3 or a 4. I don't have that luxury, unfortunately. But the biggest factor will be pain or consistent period cramps. Now, also something else I want to bring up, labor itself can be very sporadic and spontaneous. Honestly, you could probably go through miniature phases of labor until you actually reach active labor, which is the end of labor when you're actually going to deliver your baby. That the little spurts of labor might last several days to several weeks. For me, I'm pretty convinced it's 2 weeks. Once you start dilating, you're going through some kind of miniature labors, okay? I don't think that's going to be a correct medical term, but that's the way that I think about it. When I usually go to my doctor, they'll tell me like, oh, you're already a 3. And then, you know, next time I go in, like, oh, I'm a 4. You know, and I think they consider 3.5 to 5 active labor, something like that. Once I get much past a 3, it pretty much goes into real labor. It just happens really quickly for me. But that, you know, getting to like a 3 or a 4, that could take a matter of days. So then it might not all happen at once. It might happen during the day. It might happen when I'm going for a walk, or bouncing on my birth ball, or doing some exercises, or sleeping, for all you know. You may never know. But again, the thing I need to constantly reiterate to everybody is that the pain factor is what will make it very apparent that obviously you're in labor. They talk about bloody show or excess mucus discharge, and that is definitely something that happens while you are, the bloody show anyway, is definitely something that happens while you are in active labor. If you notice you are bleeding, you'll already probably be feeling pain or crampiness, or just like a really weird feeling. I mean, as soon as I was in the hospital with Chase and they broke my water, he immediately dropped, and it became obscenely uncomfortable, and you know, every time I went to the bathroom there was blood 100% of the time. So that's just some things to keep in mind. So like I said at the beginning of this video, if you guys are interested in knowing how to turn Braxton Hicks contractions into real labor contractions and actually start dilating you, if you're interested in me making a video like that, please let me know in the comments below, and I will record that for you and drop the video link into the comments or description. So otherwise, thank you so much if you've made it to the end of this video. I hope that that helps you, because I know that this is something that I've Googled multiple times myself, and I just wanted to put that information out there. Thank you all so much and have a great day. Bye. Say bye, Chaser. Bye. Bye.